The light shall bring victory.
Victory or death!
Alright, 2-drop looks good. Corcoran's pretty good in the matchup, but I think I probably toss it. Gotta find that frothing. And Corcoran's not that good if he does end up being a Duskbreaker deck. This looks like it's going to be Coin Armorsmith into Cruel Taskmaster, which is a lot of pressure. But I do need to find a 3 and a 4 to kind of bridge the gap with this hand. Alright, I think I go Eternium Rover instead of pointing out the Armorsmith.
Is someone injured?
It was kind of a debate whether or not I would play Armorsmith or Cruel Taskmaster this turn, but taking out a Northshire Cleric is really appealing. If he had had that on turn 1 instead of turn 2, this whole sequence would have been way worse for me. He could have drawn a card on 2 and this thing would have died. But the Cleric does give me some information. The Resurrect decks don't play that. I haven't seen a quest, so it doesn't look to be APM or anything like that. So probably just a Duskbreaker Mind Blast deck. So I can coin out a Dragon Maw Scorcher here. It does kill my 3/1, but it gives me 5 armor, which is pretty nice going into these heavy metal turns. Alternatively, I could just Hero Power and hit him. Either way, it looks like I'm not playing the first heavy metal until turn 6. Because if I just Hero Power, 6 armor is really not that appealing. But if I coin this guy out, it looks like I don't really have a good follow-up. I don't think he's a Mass Hysteria deck, but I actually don't think my current board is that weak to Mass Hysteria. I'm just gonna hit him and pass. Always feels kind of silly to go to the rope when you don't actually end up playing a card, but I think there were some considerations for this turn.
I see a vision in the flames.
Wow. Well, I guess that wasn't actually that good. It only did 1 damage. Can actually coin out a heavy metal here, since he gave me the extra armor out of that Eternium Rover. I could even just like, I guess I would bump here and then play it so I could get a 10 instead of a 9. Is a 10 better than a 9? For 9 I can hit like Ysera or Malagos or something. I don't really use Malagos very well. But a 4/12 is probably better than an 8/8. Can also just play Dragon Maw Scorcher. Kill this. I have plenty of armor. I have kind of a threatening board, and then I have 2 heavy metals to reload after he screams my boards. I don't really care about the coin as a reason to just go ahead and play it here. I think I like the Scorcher. The thing is, because of Scream, I can't go heavy metal into heavy metal anyway. It's just like they both get screamed on 7. So I'll do this and then like 1 heavy metal and then he screams and then I play the other one probably. Or depending on what I draw, maybe I don't even heavy metal next turn. This guy just played Skulking Geist. What year is this? If I play a heavy metal and he has Scream, he at least has to Scream zone 4/6, which is, you know, not that bad for me. I could also, like send both of these in, Blood Razor, and I just have a 3/6, that's not nearly good enough. What if I send both of these in and then Dinomatic? It's a 50-50 on killing his guy, which is probably just not good enough. Let's do this. So hopefully he just doesn't have Scream. But I'm expecting him to have Scream. So when I play this other heavy metal, hopefully I get like a Deathwing, Tyrantus, something like that.
I must consider.
Ooh, no Scream. He takes out the Scorcher, and then I have Corkron. Oh, that's rough. Okay, so I don't have lethal. This thing is a mech, so Dynamatic doesn't kill it. But Dynamatic doesn't seem super good here. It's only a 50% chance to kill this, but there is a slight possibility it also kills this. Or that it kills this instead, rather. I think I'm just going to take out the Duskbreaker and ignore the 10 power guy. I didn't want to play heavy metal there because anything I got he would just trade this thing into. Seemed bad for me.
Let me change your mind.
That's pretty annoying. Wow, he trades though. Okay. So Dynamatic actually just straight up kills this. Maybe it's time to just go ahead and drop the heavy metal though. That guy's got a big butt. So I've seen one Twilight Acolyte combo. There's the Anduin to finish it though. He's out of healing, but he does have quite a bit of health. 14 is not that easy for my deck to do with no board. I think this is the whole turn. Maybe next turn is like Dragon Maw Scorcher hit with the weapon and then Battle Rage to draw 2. I still have a Yip and a Dr. Boom in the deck, but things aren't looking great. He's gonna go ahead and kill my guy. I guess I have enough life that it's not really that easy for him to just ignore it. I wonder if I'm just supposed to shift into Control Warrior mode at this point, because his deck does have a limited amount of damage, even if that amount is a lot. I think I want to draw some cards here. Give up 2 armor to draw 2 cards. Not sure if this halftime scavenger is going to be getting me too much armor, but the Mountain Fire armor probably will. He's low enough that he can't really afford to ignore it. And if it does enough damage, that yeah, it kills him pretty quick, and it gives me a good amount of armor. Another Battle Rage play, potentially. I think I can save that for next turn.
As long as it keeps out arrows.
I'm really not sure whose health is more important here. I deal 5 to him, I have pretty much another guaranteed 5, which puts me on a Corkron draw. Given that I have this Battle Rage, being on a Corkron draw is pretty good. We're still pretty far off of him being able to kill me. And it's not like he can even afford to play Alexstrasza this turn.
I see a vision in the flames.
Hopefully this isn't like Divine Hymn or something stupid. It's also kind of interesting that that shot went face instead of into my guy, but I guess that was the plan, right? Well, here's my Yip, but I have no armor, so it's kind of bad. I could get up to 7 armor this turn. Kill here, hero power play Yip. He's gotta have a Psychic Scream by now, though. Not in the biggest rush for that to happen. I guess I'll take my 7 drop. I don't want to kill the Mechathune because then I get a 5-drop instead. Although maybe because of the Scream, it's not a big deal. This thing doesn't actually summon anything, does it? Don't believe I've played any beasts. Oh, I have an Ultrasaur. Oh shit, let's go. What was my other big guy? Oh, it was the Mechathune, right, which didn't die on my side anyway. So he decided he didn't want to shuffle a Mechathune into my deck? That's interesting and probably not right. So by hitting with a weapon here, I do put my Mountain Fire Armor into a 1-ping range, but I get a card out of it. I think cards are good. I am a little bit behind in fatigue, but he's gonna have to Scream me again at some point this game, probably. Tar Creeper. Wait, was that in this deck on purpose? No, it was from the Witch Doctor. Fair enough.
As long as it keeps out
Alright, well, getting through this thing is going to be a pain in the ass. It's probably going to end up being Scavenger, Mountain Fire Armor, and a Kor'kron Elite. I hate to give up my Mountain Fire Armors without the armor, but it looks like he might not be giving me the armor anyway. That's an odd place to play a Mind Blast. Well, I think I want to play my 7-drop here. This Abomination, or Abominable Bowman on its own is probably enough to get a Scream out of him if he has it. If he remembers that I played Ultrasaur this game. Ultrasaur lethal. Oh, that was sick.
None can escape my fury.
Victory or death!
1-2 curve, I like it.
None will survive. Flesh fails. Try.
It's gonna be really hard to use these heavy metals against Odd Rogue.
Crystallize.
Been hit here. Don't really see much of a reason to.
I wonder.
Cool. He did this attack anyway. Can draw a couple cards with Battle Rage here. Maybe I can get 3 next turn. But I have a lot of 4-drops I can potentially draw into. I should probably just go for it.
Flesh fails. Try crystal.
Reality breaks.
It's actually starting to look like
Crystallize.
these heavy metals might not be terrible. They're almost always bad in this matchup. This guy does a nice job of contesting a 3-4, considering the battle cry. That Flappy Bird is a problem. But I guess I'll take my 10-drop. It's a good 10 drop, especially with one Vile Spine down.
Mushroom power!
He's playing Void Ripper, which probably takes the slot of the Tar Creeper that sometimes shows up. Oh, he got Poisonous on his Flappy Bird, though. So I probably can't just ignore it, but with the Devastate, that's a nice pickup.
Back to work!
Alright, cool. Get my 12 then. It's probably going to take 3 attacks to kill them instead of 2, since I can't Cruel Taskmaster it, but that's fine. When you have to trade with Leroy Jenkins and Odd Rogue. Another Tyrantus? Okay, I'll settle for a Mechathune. Nice. Really happy I got to actually use the heavy metals that game.
Let the hunt begin. Victory or death!
I like the 1-drop. Blood Razor, probably not so much against Hunter.
None will survive.
Odd Hunter. Probably playing defense in this matchup.
I should eat you.
That was sort of an interesting turn. If he is that upset about my Eternium Rover, I assume he's not going to like this Armor Smith.
Speak your peace.
I cannot do that.
Let's go ahead and take these guys off the board. And we'll hit with the weapon just to set up the Death Rattle.
As long as it keeps out
The halftime scavengers should actually be pretty good in this matchup, I would think. Based on the first 4 or 5 turns of this game, I have to think that my deck probably almost never loses to his. But we'll see, I suppose.
keeps out arrows.
Seems like it's going to be hard for him to keep up with my armor game.
To my side.
The Huffer trade.
For the war chief.
Pulled back on the Armor Smith in favor of using the hero power. Can play Armor Smith in the same turn as my weapon Death Rattle.
They'll never know what hit.
Okay, he conceded because he was super dead. Or maybe he conceded because he realized he put a Nightblade in his deck. Either way is valid.